that's fun. Hello. Today I am doing my first ever try-on haul from ThredUp. This is not sponsored. I will be talking some shit. I have some notes. I'm gonna do the try-on haul first, just because that's probably what most people are here to see, and then I'll kind of talk about towards the end why me, an avid thrifter, took so long to place any order from ThredUp. I've been like an avid YouTube watcher about 4 years now, and in all of that time I have seen so many sponsored videos from ThredUp. The marketing is everywhere. And long story short, I finally placed an order for some items. So I'm gonna try them on, talk through my thoughts, decide if I'm gonna return anything, and yeah, so let's, okay, all right. First, let's go over what I got. I'm gonna have some screenshots up here. So I got a black shacket, a shirt jacket. I had kind of seen a couple people modeling like some corduroy or like thick cotton or thick flannel shirt jacket kind of things. And in my last video, my closet declutter, I had like a casual embroidered jacket that I finally decided to part with because I would pull it out of my closet, put it on, be reminded of how small the pockets were, put it back, and wear something else. So I'm kind of trying to give myself an option besides my denim jacket for a lightweight layer. And then I got 2 black button-downs. One is from Converse, one is from J. Crew. I have a black button-down I have for work that is really thin. It's kind of short. When I raise my arms, it comes untucked from my shirt because I have a really long torso, so that's just an endemic problem for me. But I'm gonna try to see if either of those I like better than the one I have. I have 2 cream-colored long-sleeve shirts I could kind of do with some more long-sleeve shirts. I was totally inspired by watching some Rachel Makesy videos where she wears a lot of like vintage clothes, but then she'll take something like a white or cream Henley shirt and style it with like a vintage skirt, and I like the versatility of that, and I could do with another long sleeve shirt or 2, so I'll see how those come out. And then I have 3 dresses. So yeah, alright, let's get started. Okay, my head's gonna be cut off because if I step farther away, it's gonna screw up the volume because I don't have an external mic. So also, hopefully, the lighting won't keep changing so much. So we're just gonna deal with me being a headless voice. Okay, so here is the shacket. This is by a brand called Paris. This is in the size medium, 100% cotton. The buttons are noisy. I'm not a fan of that. Ooh. So I'll get into it when I talk about my rants, but this is something I could not. So here's a detail that I will talk about more when I rant about some things I don't like. Because ThredUp only shows 2 photos of the items and they don't show details, I didn't notice this. The brand name is embroidered on the sleeve. Thankfully it's in black, so it's not super noticeable, but I personally think prominent brand names are tacky. If you want me to be a walking billboard for your brand, you better be paying me, not me buying the name to wear. I know that that's not really avoidable for some things. I don't know if that would have made me not buy this at all, but it might have encouraged me to keep scrolling. So, but mostly my point is, that's not a detail I could see in the photos. Pockets are pretty good size. The top pockets are practical. Ooh, okay. So there's, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There's a little bit of schmutz between the buttons here. This item is in good condition with minor signs of wear, minor wear on fabric. Okay, I guess like teeny tiny little schmutzy stains that look like they would probably wash out. Yeah, I would call that minor wear. Okay, so let me try this on. My bedroom is super warm right now. Is this a mistake to try a collared shirt on top of a collared shirt? Possibly. Okay, sleeves are a little long. Story of my life. But for a jacket, that's not a big thing. Pockets are comfortable. Yeah, for wearing this like a jacket, I think the fit is okay. I can roll up the sleeves and it feels like they're gonna stay. Yeah, the pockets are a good size. They'll fit my phone, which is definitely an improvement on the jacket I was getting rid of. And the fact that it's just like a flat black, I think is gonna make it really versatile. Okay, that's not the jacket. That's my mirror. I tried to clean it. Oh, also I was going to describe the fabric. The fabric is like a sweatshirt, but not like a super fleecy sweatshirt. So like it's thicker than a t-shirt. It's a little thinner than I was expecting, but I mean, I'm just going to use it as just like a summer layer. So yeah, I'll keep this one, and at least see if I will wear something along this style if I feel like it's an appropriate style. I almost said genre of clothing because I mostly talk about books. For kind of a gamble of not having enough photos online, I'm satisfied. So next I'm gonna go with this J. Crew long sleeve button down in the size medium. It says stretchy perfect. So it's cotton, and it's like not the softest cotton, so it's kind of noisy, which I don't love, but it has some stretch in it, which I think is really important because I'm not going to be wearing this in like an office setting. I'm going to be wearing it while I do stage crew stuff. So I need to be able to move in it, but it's got like a little bit of darting in it, so it should have a little bit of shape. Doesn't have any breast pockets, but that's okay. All right, let's try it on. Okay. So again, the sleeves are too long on me, but you know, story of my life. The length feels okay. I feel like, okay, it might come out of my shirt. But I'll tuck it in a moment and give it a good test. So I really like where the buttons line up because when I pull open, okay, there was a little bit of a gap, but usually I feel like these buttons are like here and then it gaps right at my bra strap. And I like that I can have the neck open and the V's not too low, but I could button it one more and it doesn't feel like it's gonna choke me. So that length is nice. I do want to leave it open in the bottom because of my hips. Okay, so let's see if I have it buttoned. It's always going to look a little weird, but the most important thing is it feels like it's going to stay. So if I need to keep long sleeves but not have it covering my hand, that'll stay. And if I unbutton it and want to roll it up more, again, yeah, that feels like it's going to stay and it's not too tight. Okay, so looking at this shirt in the mirror, okay, stretching above my head, actually stretching a lot. It doesn't come all the way untucked. Yeah, normal movement. It doesn't gap at the bust. This one is a winner. Okay, in between shots, I'm gonna change into a tank top because the bedroom is still really warm. The next thing I'm gonna try on is the other black shirt from Converse. Oh. This isn't black. This is navy. Here's the J. Crew shirt. Yeah. This isn't black, it's navy. What color was it listed under? Black, comma, blue. They shouldn't have listed it under black because I had filtered my shirts by the color black. I mean, it's a very dark navy, but the thing is, let's say I was working a job that had a strict dress code and the code was you had to wear a black shirt. And if you didn't adhere to the dress code, you could get sent home and lose a day's pay. This might get you sent home. They should have just listed it as blue. But anyway, I picked up this one because I had a shirt like this in navy. I think in a size small, which I have long since grown out of. Let's see, this one is a size medium. So I had thought, oh, I liked that shirt. I remember how it fit. I liked that it had the stretchy panels under the arm, which made it really comfortable to move in. Okay, let me get the next size up in the color black, I thought, and try that. Okay, well, let's try it on. This feels, it might be too short also. I mean, it's kind of the wrinkles from shipping, but the arms are not too long, but I think that's because it's too small. Yeah, it looks a little small in the shoulders too. I mean, the cut is really nice, but for my torso length, I probably actually wanted this in a large if it was actually black. And like, I understand that they would like mark multiple colors if it had multiple colors in it, but even like the detail in the collar, like there is no black on the shirt. I might return this one, because also like, well, just because I like the J. Crew one so much better. So the next thing I have is this long sleeve shirt from Josephine Show. Josephine Show's Show, but it's probably pronounced Show. In a large, 100% cotton. Oh, interesting. Here's another thing that I wouldn't be able to tell from the lack of photos. So I could tell these are fake buttons because there's no matching buttonhole. Sorry I'm so off-center, but yeah, I'm trying to avoid the shadow. But also these buttons at the bottom are also fake, which I know the silhouette wants it to stay buttoned, but what if I wanted to be able to unbutton it further? I wouldn't be able to tell from the details that they listed or the photos. Okay, it's a little big, but I mean, it's a large, so I'm not surprised. I mean, it doesn't have a thick cuff, but it feels like if I rolled it up, the sleeves would stay. I know my lighting situation's not great. I don't own a ring light. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. So the next shirt I have, so this is from Massimo Supply Company, which I think is a brand from JCPenney, which I think makes it a fast fashion brand. But you know what? I have owned some Massimo stuff in the past. I have bought Massimo stuff used, and yeah, it didn't look brand new, but like I've worn that stuff to pieces or worn it until it didn't fit me. And I think just like their cuts of stuff have just worked with me, so I didn't feel like it was too risky taking a risk on this. Okay, this is also in a size large. This is 95% cotton, 5% spandex. This is a 3/4 sleeve, so I shouldn't have to roll the sleeves up. It's got a little booby, a little chapstick pocket, little Kleenex pocket. The length on this looks like it's probably going to be pretty good on me. So let's try it on. Very stretchy. I mean, but you can see how long the 3/4 sleeve length, the 3/4 sleeves are on me, because my arms are short. Like, they really should be hitting me like there, and they hit me there. But the stretchiness works in its favor, because I definitely feel like even not tucking this in, this is not going to ride up too much. These are real buttons, so if I want to unbutton this, I can. It has a wide neckline. For work, I tend to like shirts that have either buttons or a wide neckline in case I get too warm, so I can cut, because I find that if I can keep my neck open and roll my sleeves up, that'll help me from getting too over warm when I'm down to my last layer. I like this, and I actually feel like this is more of an oatmeal, because the last shirt was definitely a cream. I think I like the oatmeal on my skin tone a little better. So yeah, this one I like. This one and the J. Crew shirt are so far total winners for me. So since I know I'm keeping this one, I'm just going to keep it on even though I'm kind of sweating in here. Because the next thing we're going to try on is dresses. Okay, so the first one I've got here is from Fenth, which I think I looked that up and that's a like Walmart brand. So I was a little bit worried about the quality, but the cut of it looks great. This is a size large. Oh my god, I love it. It has pockets, a detail I could not tell from the listing. But yeah, this silhouette is very similar to one of my favorite dresses that is currently in the laundry. Ooh. Okay, the leg slits go up quite a bit, but you know what, since the rest of it is so long, I can work with that. I'm probably going to wear this more in warm weather. I like that this makes it really forgiving if I'm wearing a bralette or no bra. Might not be able to tell. Yeah, from the photo, you would not be able to tell that it has slits or that it has pockets. Which in this case worked in its favor, but if those are features I was looking for, I wouldn't know. Okay, this one I will be keeping. Okay, the next dress I picked totally because of the print. I am a sucker for a bold floral pattern on a black background. This is from Referral. This is in the size medium. This is rayon and spandex, which I normally don't gravitate towards synthetics. But I really liked the print. I really liked the print. Let's try it on. Oh, and this one was still had the tags on it. It has pockets, which I love. It's really comfortable. It's too long in the front. It's longer in the front than in the back. That's a little weird. Okay, but something I've noticed, because like the fabric is so cheap, the weight of it, it's already kind of pulling on the top and giving it this like white. You can definitely see like the elasticness through it, which I don't love. I like that it doesn't go too far down in the back. You know, I think I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna have to hem the front. Or find someone to hem the front, because hemming stretchy fabrics is very challenging for me. But like, yeah, it's a little big. I probably could have done the next size down on this, but it is really comfortable. This would be a really comfy travel dress. So what this is like, I don't know, I would have picked up that other black one and this one in the thrift store, and I would have, in the thrift store, I would have decided to buy the other black one that I loved and put this one back, because I don't like the way the fabric stretches and it's too long. But since I have it, I might keep it, since it's already in my home and it's now a little bit of a hassle to return. And I do really like the print. This is definitely something I'm going to try to wear, but it's a hit in some aspects, like again, surprise pockets. But yeah, it's really long. Hold on, what size is this? 10th dress was a large, fit me perfectly, and this one is, and this one's a medium. It feels too big. It does also kind of feel like a swimsuit cover-up, so maybe that's why. But man, women's clothing sizes, so arbitrary. Alright, I have one last dress to try on, and this one was absolutely a gamble. This is from Forever 21. It's in a size large. Forever 21 is always hit and miss for me, because something will look really cute on the mannequin or on the rack, and then I'll put it on my body and it'll look real freaking weird. But I bought this because of the little opening in the back. Because I love little open back detail stuff like that. I have an open back sweater that I love. I'm a little worried about the the bodycon-ness, but I'm hoping that because it's the size large, it won't look too weird. I hope the length won't be too weird. But let's try it on. Ooh. Okay, this is a large and it feels too small. And oh, why would you put the gap at the bra strap line? See that? I don't know if you can really, because this is my bra. And that's hitting right at the bra strap. This needs to sit like 3 inches lower. I want it to show I mean, my butt does look really good in this, but, but yeah, from the side, but all bodycon dresses look good on my butt. But I feel like this length, it really accentuates these puppies, which, trying to learn to love them, but this dress is not helping, and I think the length really accentuates that I have really short legs. The shoulders have this thing where they've been hung on hangers while they're wet or something. Yeah, it feels too small in the shoulders, which is really accentuating these things, which is weird because it's a large. I usually wear a size 10. In pants, I'm a size 10. So that gives you an idea of how this size large compares to that. But yeah, these, especially in cheap clothing, supposedly if you wash this and then lay it flat to dry or run it through the dryer, it'll kind of get rid of this, but I have never actually found that to be true, especially in cheaper clothing. This stuff is here to stay. And again, because it feels a little small, that's just exaggerated. I don't love it. I would return this one. This and the navy shirt I would return. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna send that bodycon dress back and the navy shirt, and I'll keep these 2 other flowy dresses. Yeah, I'll keep, I don't love the Josephine Show dress, the Josephine Show shirt, but for work it'll be fine. I'm gonna try on the Josephine Show shirt in comparison to some of the other shirts in my long sleeve collection and decide whether I like it better than some of the ones I was thinking of replacing. And I don't know, I'll put a note on the screen here whether I chose to return it or not. But you know, at least, I mean, the thing is, what, I ordered 6? No, I ordered more than 6. How many items did I order? I mean, I ordered 8 items. I'm only considering returning 3 of them. I don't think that's too bad. Okay, let me reorganize this shot into something that's not so scary. And then I'm gonna chat about what I liked about this process and the things that I don't like that kind of kept me from ordering them for so long. And just kind of like the way that my feelings are messy about this brand, which is fine. It's fine. Okay, lighting is still kind of weird in here, but let's just chat. Okay, so let's talk about things I like. Let's start with buying secondhand items is great. Like, you know, as we're talking about like sustainability and like eco-conscious shopping things and manufacturing practices, like acquiring a secondhand item instead of a brand new item is always going to put you in the plus, even if there's other aspects of that particular process that are kind of questionable. So I do love that they are trying to make shopping secondhand cool and accessible. I know that there's been a lot of like secondhand markets. You know, there's always been like eBay. You know, I do appreciate that like they're trying to make secondhand shopping like more accessible, more hip, and you know, I think all in all that's kind of a good thing. I do really like that they shipped all of my items from one warehouse, like that the items were originally in separate warehouses, and they first ship everything to one warehouse and then they just ship one box to me, which I think, in terms of like the carbon footprint of shipping, I think that is a better outcome than like shipping multiple boxes straight to me. So I like that they have that feature. I like that they accept returns. There is a restocking fee. It's like $1.99 per item. And you know what? I think that should probably be common practice. Because presumably they are losing some money when they refund you for returning stuff, but there is labor involved in accepting a return and checking items and re-entering them into their inventory, and that labor needs to get paid for somehow. And I think huge mega corporations like Amazon have really spoiled us and warped our sense of how much labor actually costs to do things like returns. So I am not bothered that they have a return fee or a restocking fee per for their returns. I wish, or like I wonder if it would also be feasible to have like a cap on that fee, because I don't know, just because like let's say you order like 12 items and like 10 of them don't work for you. Okay, well now you're out $20 to return it. They don't refund you shipping from receiving your item, but you don't have to pay for shipping to return it. But yeah, if you're like returning a bunch of stuff, you're out a lot. And I mean, I know part of that is to discourage you from returning a lot of stuff, but as I'll get into with the things I don't like, and the things you just saw with my try-on haul, they don't really do a great job of making sure I know exactly what I'm getting. So it shouldn't be that surprising that I'm gonna have stuff that doesn't work for me and I don't want to keep. And I don't just want to keep dumping stuff on, you know, my local thrift stores that are already like overwhelmed with stuff. So I feel like there's some work that could be done there. I liked their nuanced search filters. I'll get into what I don't like about their search stuff in a minute, but I do like that if I'm kind of browsing for something, I can go into like, you know, women's tops, long sleeve, Henley, and then, you know, 3/4 sleeve, and then cream, you know, white, cream, brown. And I can narrow it down by fabric type, which I really like. And there's a whole bunch of filters that I do really like. And you can also filter by solid color or by prints. That is something that bugs me on Poshmark, because I'll be like looking for a black button-down shirt and I'll get all of these prints that have black in them, but I need a solid button-down shirt and I can't filter the color down anymore. So I do like their nuanced search filters, and I do think it's easier to find an exact piece, especially once you like put in the brand. Like if I'm looking for, hey, do you carry American Eagle jeans in a size 10 in black? What are your options? And I can see whether you have the style I want or not pretty quickly. So those are things I do like. Okay, I'll do another like transition of a thing I kind of like into a thing I don't like. A lot of people, especially in the sponsored, a lot of folks, especially in their sponsored videos, would be like, it comes wrapped in this cute paper that you could reuse for gift wrapping. I'm like, yeah, but the sticker they put on it rips a giant hole in the paper when you open it. Insert photo. Which, I mean, I can still use that to like stuff a bag or something, but And I'm sure they're doing it to have some kind of marker to show that yes, these items were opened and inspected by the purchaser, rather than you saying, no, I didn't touch them at all. So I think it does serve that purpose, but it's also like, well, if you're talking about like sustainable and like reusable packaging and stuff, I can't really, I am limited in my reusing of that paper because there's a giant hole in it. So things I don't like I mentioned, I do not like that there's just two photos, a full photo from the front and a full photo from the back, because I can't see details. You know, like again, like 2 of my dresses had pockets. I had no idea that they had pockets when I ordered them. I couldn't tell whether the buttons were real. I couldn't tell that there was embroidery on the sleeves. And they're all put on these mannequins that makes it very hard to guess what the shape of that item is going to look like on my body. Because you could see, like, I have a very long torso. I'm, you know, petite size because I've got short arms. And the fact that, like I kind of like that they show, like, just a photo of the item, but because the item is not shown in combination with other clothing, I don't get a sense of, like, how long is the shirt, you know, what's the scale of the shirt compared to the torso of the mannequin. The mannequin is not representative of the bodies of the people who are going to be buying your clothes. And they do have an image with some measurements now, which I don't think they had a couple years ago when I was first looking at ThredUp. I think they have measurements now, but the measurements are inconsistent because I was looking at, I think it was like a different J. Crew button-down shirt, and I saw what looked to be the exact same shirt in a large and a medium, but the medium had larger measurements. So, I think it is still a little bit subjective to who's doing the measuring and how accurate are they when they're measuring something. It definitely helps. Like, when I was looking at things in my cart, I definitely weeded out stuff that, like, I know that's going to be too big and I know that that's going to be too small. But yeah, like you saw with the Forever 21 dress, like, that's a size large according to the measurements. It should have fit me, and, like, definitely in the shoulders it was still too small. Yeah, I wish they had more detail. But I also know, like, secondhand resale operates on a very thin margin, and the more detail you put, the more labor it takes, the more time it takes to make a listing. So I'm sure they're doing it because they'll sacrifice some of that detail in order to make things move faster, to keep, you know, labor costs versus income more balanced. Like, I'm sure there's an element of they kind of have to do that to try to make this profitable. But for my standards, that's almost why I prefer Poshmark or something like that, even though it can be kind of a mess to search through. When I find a seller who is, like, showing it on their body or showing it, like, with a tape measure on it and, like, giving just, like, as many details as possible, I'm more likely to buy it because I actually get a better idea of what I'm getting. I think they've improved this a little bit, but it's always, again, because they don't show detailed photos, looking at black clothing is really hard. I think they've improved it a little bit because now I can, like, zoom in to their main photo and be like, oh yeah, there are ruffles on there. Or, like, yeah, there is, like, some lace detail in there. But at first glance, like, all of their black clothing is just a shapeless blob. I wear a lot of black, and a lot of people need to, like, wear black for work and stuff. So, like, again, like, you can't photograph black clothing the way you photograph everything else. It's not, you're not going to get the same level of detail. So that's been frustrating. So there are things I like about their search engine, but what I don't like is that their search engine is, like, very brand focused, but, like, weirdly so. Like, like, the search bar is basically you're just searching for the brand. Like, you can't search Levi's 501 because their Levi's don't have the model number. Which is so fucking weird because, like, that's like iconic of Levi's jeans, is like the 501 or the 510 or the 520 or whatever the fuck their numbers are. It just feels really like you can search Levi's and they'll show you everything Levi's, but then when I start going into filters, it kind of like erases that initial search. Like, I basically, like, when I go on there, I ignore the search bar and I just go through the filters, because the search bar, it just gives me really, really weird results. Also, like, I tried searching for Doc Marten boots, and they have, like, when I go into searching their brands, they have it spelled Dr. Dr. Martens. If I put that in, you know, if I do that, it'll come up with like some Doc Marten stuff they have. But if I put that exact spelling into the search bar, their Doc Marten stuff doesn't come up. Also, when I searched, they had no Doc Marten flat boots. They only had heels, which leads me into my next thing, is they only have masculine. They only have feminine styles. They don't have men's clothing. They don't have masculine cuts. Which I understand that that's a whole other market. Like, that might just be like too much inventory for them to deal with at this time. But also, like, clothing itself doesn't have a gender. I wear a lot of men's cut clothing because I demand real pockets, and it's really hard to get that in women's clothing and traditionally feminine clothing. You know, like, I want to wear stuff from Carhartt. I want to, again, like, wear stuff from Levi's. I want Doc Marten, like, combat boots, not their heels. So I feel like there's a whole bunch of trendy styles. Like, yeah, like, when I was looking for that shirt jacket, like, I wanted, like, an oversized, thick flannel, like a big corduroy flannel, and they didn't have anything like that. So I feel like it's really hit and miss of whether you're going to be able to find something you like, just because they're limited by the gender of the clothing, which I have feelings about, like, why we're still doing that. But also, like, you just look at what's trendy, and that also feels like a weird decision to not be able to supply half of the trends that are going on. So that's weird. And all of that stuff has kind of led into why it's been so long. Like, I feel like a Target consumer. Like, I've been purchasing stuff from Poshmark for years. I've been thrifting pretty much since I had any kind of disposable income. So I feel like a prime customer, a prime target audience for something like ThredUp, and it's taken me years to finally have enough of a wish list of things I actually want to place an order. 'Cause yeah, I would go in trying to find, like, my favorite pair of jeans in the next size. Well, they wouldn't have them, or they wouldn't have them in the wash I wanted. Like, they had so many things, but then I couldn't find exactly what I wanted. And because, or I would just, or I think the biggest thing is I wouldn't feel confident purchasing things because I couldn't really see details in the photos. And especially, and this is especially why I think, like, the measurements are new, because I would look at something and I'm like, I don't know this brand. That's the downside of doing a lot of thrifting, is I don't have reliable brands that I know always fit me, because every time I'm buying something new. And that's kind of on me. But it's like, I'll look at stuff and, like, I don't know if I'm a medium or a large, because I've never bought anything from this brand. I don't know what size I am from them. So without any kind of measurements, it's really risky for me to buy something. And yes, I can return it, but I also have to pay a restocking fee. Overall, I think I would buy from them again, but they're not going to be the first place I look. It's been a good experience. Like I said, like, I ordered 8 things and only considering returning 3 of them. Okay, I'm going to keep more than half. That's not too bad. But I definitely think that, especially if I'm searching for something specific, they're not going to be my first choice. They're not going to be the first place I look. They're just going to be one of my options. But I'm definitely still, I would rather shop in person to be able to try stuff on. Or I'm going to prefer something like Poshmark or Depop or Facebook Marketplace, where the individual seller can list as many details as they want. Oh, that being said, that circles back into feelings are complicated. Okay, actually that's a good transition into, I have some notes that are called like to keep in mind, which is like, it's not really a pro and it's not really a con. It's just things I feel weird about. Yes, they're promoting all of this sustainability stuff, but like the constant like coupons, the constant like sponsored videos and sponsored posts, like the constant marketing, and especially like the constant coupons, and the fact that like the reward points are coupons off of specific things, it's definitely still promoting a lot of consumption. And the thing is, the absolute like most sustainable shopping thing you can do is to buy less. Hands down, buy less. Oh, like, so it just feels really weird that they're really writing this sustainability marketing term, but also pushing you to buy more and being like, it's okay to buy it because it's secondhand. But okay, but if you're returning stuff, well, there's a carbon footprint in sending stuff back. If you're buying lots of things and then like your style changes and you're just donating all that stuff back to the thrift store, like that's not great either. There is this idea, this conversation that with the rise of online thrifting, with the rise of online secondhand sellers, it means that more people are going into in-person thrift stores and picking the best stuff, and then reselling it at a higher price online, which then makes it less accessible to the people who could never afford to buy that nice stuff full price. And there's just like a conversation about like economic class and accessibility in there. I just finished reading Consumed by Barber, which is her whole book is using the fashion industry to talk about sustainability, consumption, capitalism, environmental justice, everything. But, you know, she addresses this point, but she also says, like, but we also have an over-manufacturing problem. Like, yeah, it's going to be harder for them to find the really nice stuff, but the thrift stores are still absolutely overwhelmed with donations because the rest of us are buying so much shit on average. And then getting rid of it before we've really used it. I do appreciate that she kind of touched on it and she kind of challenges the idea that, like, you know, these online resellers shouldn't exist because they're taking opportunities away. Because this leads into, I'm sorry this is kind of rambly, but like, it's again, like my feelings are messy because these things are so, it's not a linear idea. It's not a linear conversation. It's not neat pros and cons. It's everything is connected in these really bizarre, random ways. I was watching another person's video that I will link below. I have just discovered her channel. I do not remember her name. Her channel name is Wardrobe Repeater? Outfit Repeater. But I will link that video where she talks about like ordering from ThredUp and like some investigation she did. But she mentioned that, like, you know, even though ThredUp is valued pretty high, it's not yet profitable, or it's not very profitable. It's banking on the trend that shopping secondhand is going to become more and more popular, and it will be profitable in the future. And this is also something that Aja talks about in her book, that, yeah, the secondhand market operates on razor thin profits at all, if at all. And I wonder about, you know, the labor model of ThredUp, how it can, I mean, I'm sure it's like more profitable than an independent seller working on Poshmark, because I have like seen videos and having sold some stuff on Poshmark myself. It's like, it is so, like, unless you are routinely selling tons of luxury priced items, it is like impossible to make minimum wage reselling stuff on Poshmark. Like, the amount of hours that go in compared to how much you get paid is, it's a joke. So I imagine with something like ThredUp, I mean, I would hope that their workers are getting more than minimum wage, but even if they're at least getting minimum wage, that's still a step up from the average person who is trying to do a side hustle on something like Poshmark or ThredUp, or on something like Poshmark or Facebook Marketplace. And I think culturally we are going to have a shift of how much do things really cost, especially when you are paying people properly, when you know, what does it actually cost to make sure that nobody along the manufacturing process or the sourcing process or the fulfillment process is being exploited. So part of me hopes that the ThredUp model is profitable enough to be sustainable, for it to be a successful business, because we basically don't have like a circular economy in terms of like things getting reused and not ending up in the landfill and not getting dumped in global south countries. Again, like read Aja Barber's book for more details about that. But I also feel sad. I feel sad that it seems the way to do that is to also pursue this hyper-consumerist model of buy more, buy more, buy more because things are on sale, you know, buy more so you can reach free shipping, buy more because it's sustainable, because it's secondhand, when really the problem is we're buying too much and supporting the companies that manufacture too much. Well, I've just been rambling for about half an hour now. Okay. If y'all have stayed to the end of this video, thank you. This is not what most of my content is like, but I hope you'll check out some of my other videos. I mostly talk about books. I buy a lot of secondhand books when I do buy them. In general, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. And yeah, let me know, have you ordered from ThredUp? How do you feel about it? No judgment. Like, we're all just trying to like do the best we can under a very imperfect system. I don't know when this is going up. I hope you have happy holidays. I hope your holidays were great. I hope y'all were able to stay safe. And yeah, I will link my social media and other places where you can find me in the description box below. And I will catch you folks in my next video. Bye!